Okay, today we are going to be talking about how to unlock a Huawei B315-22 router. This particular router is from MTN Zambia, but whatever network it's locked to can be unlocked easily. So this tutorial is about how to unlock it. This is our B315 router, which has a USB port behind, 4 LAN ports and a power cable. This is for ADSL in case you're using a landline, which we are not going to be using, and it takes in a SIM card in here. So first of all, I need to mention that if you are unlocking this router, it needs to be opened and the warranty seal will be broken, and the warranty gets void once you open this seal. So in case you are unlocking it and later you have a problem with the router, you cannot take it back. So that is one of the disadvantages of unlocking the router. So first of all, you open it from here, these 2 screws. There's one under this seal which has to be opened. You just unscrew it up first, like that, and you just have to dismantle this thing slowly. You can use a flat. You will be needing these components when unlocking. One is this tweezer to bootshot it. Secondly, you will need a screwdriver to open it up, and a USB to USB cable. In case you do not have a USB to USB cable, you can just get a normal USB cable which has data in it and cut it from one end and solder it inside. The soldering will be done, and it has to be like this. First, on the top there will be red, then followed by white, then green and black. That's the color code for the soldering that is needed to be done. Okay, so after you have unscrewed the 2 screws from there, you just have to rip it apart from there slowly from the sides. There are some hooks inside. You can open it up. Once it's open, this is the way it will look like. So the photo that I showed you earlier, this is where you're going to be soldering the cables, starting from the top going down in the color code format I showed in the earlier photo. Okay, so for now we shall start with connecting this to the computer. This will be plugged in using the USB cable to the USB port, and it needs to be bootshotted. For bootshotting, these are the 2 pins that we are going to be bootshotting. You need to short these 2. The bottom 2 are the ones that have to be shorted. To short means we shall use a tweezer or any metal object and press on these 2 points and switch on the router for it to go into the download mode. Once it goes into the download mode, that's when the PC is going to recognize it to have it unlocked. So we shall be bootshotting it now, and let me plug it in. Janu, चालू करना
पॉज कर दिया।
नहीं, अभी नहीं जानू,
कब करना है?
जब मैं करूँगा यहाँ पे। जब मैं बताऊँगा। Okay, so now we shall be bootshotting it, and bootshot, and you heard the computer has made that sound. Then the link of all these softwares will be given below in the video. So the first is the Balong 2 that you have to run to bootshot. After bootshotting it, you come to detect, and it has to show here under boot 3G interface, PC UI interface, user interface. That's when now you can bootshot it and unlock. So we shall be doing that from here. Where did I save this? On the B315 folder, and it's under step 1. So you run this file under the load and load it. It will start loading till the end. Okay, now as you can see on the router, this light has come on. Previously there was no light, meaning it has gone into download mode. Then you can close that, go to the second step, step 2, which is to downgrade the software. So we need to downgrade the software first. You run this 2, right click and run it as administrator. Once it runs, you have to select the file for it to downgrade. So you go in there, and under step 2, this is the bin file which you start. Okay, then you go to scan and upgrade. It will show you the COM port. So you need to take note of this COM port, which is showing from there 19, as you can see, and it's showing ready here. It is ready to downgrade. So just wait for it to finish the scan process. It usually takes up to 60 seconds, as you can see here. Sometimes it takes longer, but hopefully in 60 seconds it's usually done. Scanning, that's the scanning process. Later then you have to start the downgrade process. Okay, so now as you can see, it has started the first downgrade. The process starts, and the lights here on the router, it shows the blue light and the 2 other lights showing there. So it's already at 50 something percent. It's downgrading the firmware. So once the firmware has been downgraded, we can move on to the next step. Okay, it's now going to reboot the router. As you can see, the blue lights and other lights have gone off. It is now rebooting. Let it reboot. Once it does the rebooting process, the computer is going to pick it again. As you can see, the software is now getting ready. It's at data card ready. It's at 98%. Success. So it's finished the process and it has showed the success. So we are done with the downgrade process. We can close that and go back to step 3 now. The step 3, for this step 3 to work, we need to plug in using the network cable. You no longer need the USB cable now. You can unplug your USB cable. We are done with the USB. So we are going to now plug in our network cable. You can plug it into any of the ports. doesn't matter, and onto the network card of the computer. Let me just disconnect from. Okay, once it shows that, meaning it has picked. So as you can see down here, it is showing that it has picked the network cable. It's allocating the IP address. So once you open this application, the toolbox, you verify that the IP address here is correct. The 192.168.8.1. That's the default IP address for the router. And the username is admin and the password is admin by default from Huawei company. Unless otherwise it was changed, that you have to put in whatever password you had set. So you click on connect, and as you can see, it has showed the details of the router, the software version, and the IMEI number. That's the serial number of the router. So you come to the second option here, API control, and choose device mode from here, from the drop down menu. Once you're in the device mode, you come back, there's a file called commands. You open the commands file and copy all this command. You can copy it and paste it in here. Once pasted, you click on the write directly. It's going to ask you, are you sure you want to do that? You click on yes. To verify if it has written that, you go to debug on the next menu and it should show the OK. Once it shows OK, it means it has successfully written that command. You can now close this and go to the next step, which is step 4. In step 4, you have to run the putty and click on telnet and type that IP address which was previously showing, which is 192.168.8.1, and the port number has to be 23 by default, and you click on open. The putty command starts. Once the putty starts, you type ATTI twice, and it will show you the details of the router. This is just to confirm that it's picking the router and you are ready to get the unlock code, to get the hash for the unlock code to be given. Then you go back into the readme file and there is the commands which you can copy and you paste them in here, and it gives you the command, the hash tag, the hash list of the command. So you need to copy these. Now you need to take note, the other folder has the unlocker in it, step 5. So you run that and you go to the NCK network unlock code. That's where you click. So it shows you the list down. So as you can see here, you need to start copying the numbers from 19. In the example, it shows 19. After the comma, that's where you start copying it from. So as you can see in here, after the comma, we have this E series. It starts with the E2. So that is what we are going to copy. You copy it to the end and paste it in here in the first pattern. Then you continue the copying. This is still the first pattern. up to the last number before the zeros. You do not copy everything. So this is your first pattern. Then you can do the second pattern, which starts from the 8 after the zeros. So you copy that into the second pattern, and lastly this last line up to the 01. You leave the 01 out, as you can see in the example. So you have to copy only up to before the 01, which is 21 in my case. So you copy that and paste it in here. There was a gap here, so just take note of that. Even here there is no gap, and click on calculate. And it has given me an error to say not enough patterns in the first pattern. So I suppose I left out one of the digits, which is 22, as I can see here. And it has started the process of calculating the code. This usually takes some time depending to what kind of machine you are using. The resources of your machine matter, the processor and RAM. As you can see, I am using a Core i7. This is a 6th generation. So it is moving, it's already at 8%. You need to just wait for it to finish up to 100% and your code will be generated. Okay, as you can see now we have reached 96% of the unlock code, and it's done. This is my unlock code. So I'm now going to copy this, and you have to now put in a different network SIM into your router for it to ask for that unlock code, which you have to enter. Okay, so this is a different network SIM which I'm going to be putting into the router. This is a Vodafone SIM card which I'm going to insert for it to ask for the unlock code, and you need to restart the router. Now you do not need the cover to be out, since the process of the bootshot is done. You can even close it up and screw it up. Okay, so I have restarted the router, and now I'm going to go into the settings. So you need to take note that after the thing is done, this comes into Polish, as the software downgrade that we did shows Polish. So you can change the language from there to English, and as you can see, it is asking for the device unlock code, and that is the code we shall be entering in here, which we copied from that other program, and click on apply, and it unlocks immediately. Now the SIM card that I have put in here has no network on it. That's why it's not going to show you the network. But okay, so I have put in an Airtel SIM card in here, as you can see, so that we can see if it has been unlocked. And the router is now restarting. As you can see down here, it has started picking the IP address. Once the IP address has been allocated, I'm going to be able to log into the router. Yeah, as you can see now, it's showing Airtel. Previously it was locked only to MTN, but Now it's on Airtel and it's connected. I can now browse. I can do whatever I would like to do. You can check the settings from there. You can go to the device information, and this is the B315-22 router. This is the IMEI number and the software version. So thank you very much for watching my video. If you like this video, kindly share it, give me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe to the channel. The next video will be to unlock a Huawei MiFi, the E5573C with 609 at the end. This is also locked to MTN. This will be the next video that I'll be making. Kindly stay in touch, and thank you very much for supporting. In case you would like to donate anything, the email address is down for PayPal. You can kindly send something to keep my videos running. Thank you very much.